being rejected by a girl is like losing or the wrong way to play it. Now, if your goal is to date that girl, then yes. But there are many girls or any characters that you may not want to date or may just dislike, and causing them to reject you could give you some very valuable points for skills that you might want to use in other relationships. Hey, I'm Demon Dev, and I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about a lot with my project, which is, I guess I would call it productive procrastination. And basically, the idea here is there's some stuff that you maybe think you should be working on based on priorities or, something that the game's really missing or whatever project you're working on. But it's like really crushing, or, you feel like you're um, kind of going in circles with the work. That's definitely been happening over the course of a lot of Double Demons as a project. I'm making a lot of progress on stuff, but it's still really tough. The core thing that's been kind of causing me to run out of steam lately is the AI coordinator, which is just what I'm calling the organization system for where the AIs are every day of the week and then at every time period. So, Monday through Sunday, dawn till nighttime. And I approach the system because the organization of the story, since there's so many dynamic conversations, just meaning you can talk to this person or talk to this person at the same time, and then doing one will exclude the other. So, anyways, it gets kind of messy in a lot of ways, but primarily, setting AIs, getting their pathing working, turning them on and off, and then just the bulk of the work, like for every character, trying to give them a daily schedule. I, you know, ended up rebuilding a time of day and like how do you deal with changes to an AI schedule, especially if it interacts with another AI, can be definitely a daunting design question. Anyways, so in walks something that I've been meaning to do for a long time, but also procrastinating, which is some sort of a feedback system for relationships. Basically, I wanted it to be so that you could see a relationship over time. Because, okay, in a lot of ways, the relationships in this game, in Double Demons, it's like a Pokemon battle. You're choosing your attack one, move at a time. Like for choosing a post in social media, it's kind of mirrored very well. So it struck me a little while ago that I should really make a social media app that not only allows you to kind of do the same system where you're choosing an emotional option and then AIs are reacting to whether they like or not that kind of expression. And then you can have a feed like that, and then if you get likes, maybe that gives you some sort of bonus. So anyways, I wanted to take a break from the AI coordination and do a social media app. So this is what I built over the past like about 3 weeks. And I thought I would walk through the process of productive procrastination, at least in regards to this. So, anyways, I knew that I wanted a AI relationship kind of infographic where you could see, okay, what is my relationship with this person over time? And you can go to their page. One of the interesting kind of lore bits is that the character that you take over playing as the player has a crush on this one girl, Jessica, before you even start playing the game. Now, of course, once you're taking control of the player, then you're deciding, who you're going to pursue or not pursue. So, if you go to her page, you've actually liked all of her posts in kind of a sad boy way. So you can actually get some likes back by unliking them. But I'm getting distracted here. What I wanted was, okay, if the player can see the bond and respect over time, then it'll be easier for them to understand and make strategic decisions about which relationships they want to push in which direction, or just be aware of what's happening. Like, I think in real life, a lot of times we're kind of noticing in hindsight, oh, this person really likes me. I kind of like them too. And it's more natural in that way. It's not always a master strategy. But regardless of it being intentional or not, I do believe that even in real life, these factors are going on, that the math is happening in the background. the world system is running. So, being able to see, okay, I just chose all of the funny options because those are the dialogue options that I like. Let's see how it worked out. Well, for this person, her respect for me is growing, which is the orange one. I need to change the text to match that. So that's, working. Maybe my friendship with the teacher has gone down a little bit. So, anyways, you can think about that and then make the strategic decisions about whether you're going to change or not. And maybe I'll add a pop up to explain the exact details of the personality and how that gets calculated. You can see that on the right. Anyways, so I just thought this was super fun, but it's just a menu, right? So I wanted it to be a little bit more interactive and really draw you here, not just to like, do your galaxy brain strategy, which is fun, but maybe feels like a lot of work to open a menu to get here. So I added the whole social media component. You can like posts, and that will improve your relationship if you leave those posts liked when the next time period goes. And then you can scroll through the feed in a more natural way. I've got, of course, a lot of placeholder characters in general, but you can like different posts, and then you run out of likes. You maybe get like 3 likes per day. And generally, the likes will give you your friendship will go up a little bit. But if you like too many posts, and this is the kind of the more uh, game aspect of the social media, if you like more than 3 posts in a row of someone specifically without them liking any of your posts, then you actually stop gaining, improved friendship, and you start losing respect. So that's kind of a fun. I think it emulates real life in a fun, simplistic way. So, anyways, you can jump to the different friends through that, but you can also go to your own profile and you can see all of your posts. Of course, this will be updated when people like your posts as you progress through the game, and you can see how that's working. But I also thought that, okay, if you've got a profile, maybe this is a good place for a skill tree system to be put in as far as menus go. So anytime you want to level up a skill, you can check in with social media on the way, and that might be a fun way to keep people engaged. And there's a lot of lore that can be explored through people's social media posts. It's kind of my counterpart to having like a book in the environment that you pick up and you can read about something. But the nice thing about the social media app is, hey, this is on your phone, so you're taking it with you, so you can explore the lore in any kind of like you're even just auto pathing somewhere, and you can check your phone on your way. You can check your notifications. You can like a bunch of posts to get maybe that slight edge to the relationship that you need to take it to the next level. But yeah, and then as you develop your relationships, you get points. So if you boost a friendship of a relationship, you'll get favorability, respect, attraction. And then if you actually lose friendship, you get disapproval points. And if you lose attraction or you get rejected, there's no way to lose respect except in pretty catastrophic events. And with those points, you can get all sorts of abilities to either mitigate or weaponize negative events. So I'm really excited about, and this is, sorry, I'm rambling a little bit. I'm really excited what's possible by not, saying that even being rejected by a girl is is like losing or the wrong way to play it. Now, if your goal is to date that girl, then yes. But there are many girls or any characters that you may not want to date or may just dislike, and causing them to reject you could give you some very valuable points for skills that you might want to use in other relationships, or just to boost your magical powers in special ways. So I'm excited to kind of allow anything that happens in an exchange to give you a specific kind of resource. And then you can look through this skill tree and decide, okay, I really want this, ability normalized despair. This is going to help me a lot when I interact with some pretty uh, mean characters, or a really difficult, hopeless romantic situation where it's going to take a long time to get a girl into you. So, in order to do that, you could pursue rejection points. and that would be a totally valid strategy. So I'm really excited about what that means for both, how you feel about the interaction that you have with people. Uh, People being mean to you isn't you necessarily losing the game. It's you getting one resource instead of another, and you can decide what's important or which relationships you want to be positive or negative. Anyways, so I'm really excited about all that. I've been meaning to do a social media app for a long time, and so now it's working pretty well. But I thought I would go through the process of how I got here real quick. And basically, what it started with was, okay, I wanted some sort of a feed. I knew that I needed a like system, so I just kind of opened Blender and just, made some boxes or planes, and then arranged elements in a lot of different ways. As you can see, it changed a little bit towards the end, but it was pretty close. I ended up realizing that I wanted the like to be a scalable button that would pop up to make it more clear how it would work. Um, I wanted the posts to be simplified compared to regular dialogue. So you just, depending on time of day, is what you're talking about. So you can see this first post the player was making is about school, but you can change the way to express it. And then, likes as a resource. So one idea I had was, oh, what if, okay, so your like, has an effect depending on, what the ratio of your liking their posts to them liking your post is, which is, I think is kind of fun. And you can actually lose either friendship or something like that if you like too many of their posts without them liking any of yours. Additionally, I'm interested in the idea that you can unlike people's posts that you've already liked, which won't take that away from their friendship, but it will build frustration, which is a different meter that you have to kind of keep an eye on, because that can cause some challenging events where the character is just mad at you and doesn't want to be around you, or thinks they need an apology from you. Yeah, and then so I wanted to design the players page as kind of a map to get to their skill tree, and also see all your posts, maybe see who's liking your posts, track all your different points that you're earning through all your relationship building, and then something to track the relationship over time. So you can see it's pretty close. It's just I spent probably a couple days moving stuff around, deciding what I wanted to do there. And then I realized, okay, I'm not going to be using Blender text. Super nice for designing out stuff because I can just click on it and type out what I want. And sometimes I'll design it out in Unity, but I think it's a little bit faster in Blender just because I can, just change the shapes more directly. And I don't like any of the tools in Unity for that. But so then I started building out all the elements, as I wanted them to look in the system. And these top elements, I think I can unhide maybe. Yeah. These top elements, I just kind of extracted here so that I got confused because there were so many different elements across all this that I ended up just putting them side by side and just kind of align. And then I'd be like, okay, what I'm going to do that's going to match this? Okay, I'll do this. What am I going to do that will match the line in a way that I can dynamically drive? Okay, it'll be this with some bones. So then I kind of exported these all out one by one, which is a little bit annoying, but it means that if I want to change anything, I can do that pretty easily. Let's see, where is it? Let me just pull up the folder so you can see. Yeah, so I've got a social media folder, and you can see add post, AI page, base page, close. Oh, that's just a universal, closed universal. That's the little red X thing right here. Different like resources. So once I've got all those elements separate, then I arrange them in Unity. One thing I did that I ended up working really well is I arranged all the different pages that you tab through side by side instead of just turning them on and off and being on the same place. And that way it was easier to change them without having to toggle things on and off. And then as soon as the game starts, it just snaps them all to the same position. But that ended up being really nice to work on. It did get a lot more complicated. I think that happens with a lot of procrastination projects. Is part of the reason you're doing it is to get away from another thing. which in this case happened to be the AI coordination, deciding where the AI should be at every time and whether there's a conversation attached, if you interact with them and all that. So the more complex the social media app could be, the more time I got to spend on break from that. At least that's that's a lot of the feelings that were going on. But yeah, so you'll select the social media app from your phone apps, and then it'll go here. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I'm excited. I think that will help people connect in a longer term way with the strategies, or just what's going on with your relationships. It can be a bit abstract to see a heart meter with a 5 or a 7, or a fire meter with a 4. But if you see, oh, I'm here now and I was, maybe much lower in the past or much higher in the past, then you can say to yourself, okay, the relationship's getting worse or better. Maybe I'll trigger events with that as well to, really bring that through in a story-based way. But it even becomes a great developer debugging tool to see how things are going for players, or for me as I play through the game. Anyways, really excited about that. I've also made a lot of story changes to make the pacing a lot faster and you really get into what the game's about. So I'm really excited. And probably the next thing I'll be working on is the AI coordination and getting some more conversations running. All right, have a good one. Good luck with your procrastination, whether it be productive or otherwise.